Shalom, it's Howard. Alright. Don't talk trash about my little junkie room. But, oh, thank you. Thank you. Ready? Go get it. I gotta play with my dog at the same time because he's tripping about this ball and then he usually don't give it to me. It's right there. Yeah, go get it. So, alright. How can I describe this to y'all? Oh, really? Look, see, this is what I gotta go through. Oh, you can't see it. See, the ball. Capone. See, that's Capone. Oh. Nigga, give me the ball. Give it to me. He wants me to throw the ball. Damn it. Yeah, so, like I said, I'm gonna run this down to y'all real quick. This right here is going to explain a lot. Alright. So remember when I told y'all, I did a video and I said that the churches and the religions are teaching you that the Creator has an adversary, right? That he, like he's at risk of being taken over or something. Give it to me. Or something like that. Give it to me. Damn ball. So, what happens is, if and this story right here literally explains the whole thing. It literally does. It explains everything. And this is what they want y'all to believe. But this is not what the scriptures tell you. The Most High don't have an adversary. He's not in fear of somebody taking over or destroying him to take over. But this will all literally give you the story of their Satan thing that they want you to believe that happened. And then this is with their fallen angels story. And those angels did not get kicked out of heaven because they weren't in heaven. Well, they were in heaven, but it's not. Heaven is not what they tell you it is. Heaven is the damn sky. It's the firmament. That's what it is. Read it for yourself. It tells you that in Genesis. It did not say the Creator made a crib and he called it heaven. No. Heaven is the sky. Literally. And if you know anything about Allah, he is the Lord of the air. So is Satan. Just saying. But, so, I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna turn it up. I'm gonna put it on my little thingy thing so y'all can see it. And we're gonna go from there. I'll let y'all listen to this, and then when it's done, you know, y'all tell me. But this is what this is. Alright? This is exactly what they think they gonna. This is what they telling you their Satan is gonna do. Hold on. Alright, y'all. I had to mount this on here. And I'm about to play it, okay? I'm gonna turn it up for y'all. Nope, we ain't doing that. Come on now.
Now fully visible was none other than Sung Il Huan.
Hold on. And if anybody know what this is actually solo leveling. This my shit. Excuse me, French, but let me get out the picture.
Jinu's father,
Alright,
clad in a
now
shimmering
listen,
golden
just listen.
robe, Il Huan stood between the monarchs and his son, his presence radiating strength and resolve, his fierce gaze locked onto the monarch.
Just listen.
In a low, commanding voice, he declared that from this moment forward, no one would lay a hand on Jinu. In the beginning of another world, there existed only light and darkness. The absolute being, in its infinite power, divided the light to create the emissaries of God and split the darkness to bring forth the 8 monarchs. These two opposing forces were given different purposes. The monarchs were meant to destroy the world, while the emissaries were tasked with protecting it. And so, a never-ending war began, with each side clashing repeatedly, killing each other's armies in a stalemate that seemed eternal. The brightest fragment of luminosity, an emissary of unmatched power and brilliance, brilliance, grew weary of the constant bloodshed. Exhausted from the unrelenting cycle of battle, this fragment approached the absolute being, seeking answers. Desperation and frustration filled the emissary as it questioned their creator, asking why the absolute being, their all-powerful ruler, did not intervene in the conflict. The fragment pleaded for help, begging the absolute being to grant them the strength to finally defeat the monarchs. It offered to bring the heads of their enemies as a tribute, a final offering to end the war in the absolute being's name. Yet there was no answer. The absolute being remained silent. In that moment, the brightest fragment realized a horrifying truth. The war between the emissaries and the monarchs was nothing more than entertainment to the absolute being. The creator they had worshipped, fought for, and shed countless lives for, did not care whether the war ended. The endless conflict was a spectacle, and their suffering was of no consequence to their ruler. Still, the emissaries had continued to worship the absolute being. They had praised their god with cries
And
of
look
war,
at the lettering
pledged their
in the
undying
background.
loyalty,
It
spilling
resembles
their blood
Hebrew.
and devotion. For ages, they followed the laws of the absolute being, believing that disobedience would lead to death. Yet even in obedience, death awaited them. No matter how strictly they adhered to the law, no matter how fiercely they fought, there was only one certainty: death. The brightest fragment, now fully aware of the futility of their struggle, saw the endless nature of the war. As long as the absolute being remained, the cycle of destruction and protection would never end. The war would drag on forever. The
That's
emissaries
your
made a fateful
Satan.
decision. They unsheathed their blades and turned against their creator. It was the beginning of the rebellion. A rebellion born not from hatred of the monarchs, but from the desire to end a war that had lost all meaning. The Shadow Monarch stood before Genu, pointing toward a figure at the front, a six-winged fragment of luminosity. That was him, in the distant past. He had been the only emissary of God to stand against the rebellion of his fellow emissaries. Despite his efforts, his small army of soldiers had been powerless against the united forces of the other emissaries. They were defeated, and he thought that was the end for him. But when he reopened his eyes in the depths of darkness, he realized something. There was a hidden power inside him, placed there by the absolute being. This sinister power was a failsafe, a force meant to be unleashed if everything went wrong. Within the dark abyss, the King of the Dead awoke to this newfound strength. His wings, burned in battle, were torn off, and he used the surrounding darkness to forge new armor for himself. With his transformation complete, he called upon the power of death. Arise. On his command, the souls that had been lost in the abyss awakened. The Shadow Monarch returned to the world, not alone, but with a legion of soldiers, born from the dead and forged from the very darkness he now ruled. This was the birth of the Shadow Monarch, once an emissary of God, now the King of the Dead, ruling over a power far beyond the light he once served. The Shadow Monarch, now fully transformed, explained the events that followed. After he awakened his new power and gathered his army of the dead, he led them to the battlefield. But when he returned, everything had already changed. The remaining fragments of brilliant light had risen up against the absolute being, killing their creator. They declared themselves the new gods and took on the title of rulers. These rulers, in their newfound authority, used various tools that contained the power of the absolute being to hunt down the monarchs, their enemies. One of the first to fall was Legia, the king of giants, who was captured by the rulers. This event shattered the balance of power between the monarchs and the rulers, and the situation became dire for the monarchs. Realizing the severity of their predicament, the monarchs had no choice but to seek an alliance with him. In that critical moment, he reached out to them, and together they united their forces to combat their common enemy, the rulers. From then on, the Shadow Monarch no longer fought as a fragment of brilliant light or an emissary of God. He embraced his new identity as the Shadow Monarch, leading his army of the dead in a long and brutal battle. Time was on his side. With every battle, more corpses and souls were left behind, adding to his ever-growing army. As the war between the monarchs and the rulers intensified, the Shadow Monarch forged an alliance with the Arm of Destruction, led by the formidable King of Wild Dragons. Together, their combined forces became a terrifying presence on the battlefield. Their power grew to such an extent that...
Alright, y'all. I just wanted y'all to hear the part that where they say that they seen that the creator was wrong and they killed him and took his place. That's your Satan. That's your Satan story right there. This is what they teaching y'all in churches. They telling y'all that this Satan, a creation, is going to go and fight the creator and try to destroy him to take his place. This is what they teach y'all. This is what they telling you is the adversary of the Most High. And then they telling you that these demons that he create, the demons that came with him, that, they're going to fight the creator. Listen, y'all, let me explain something to y'all. This is not scriptural. This is New Testament bullshit. This is what you would call the low vibrational mindset of an average man, a lower being, a lesser being, right? And I'm going to tell you how. Number one, if you read anything, you would know that the demons are the disembodied spirits of the giants. That's what a demon is. A demon is the disembodied spirit of the giants. It tells you right there in the book of Enoch. He said he will leave their spirits on earth to torment man. That's what they do. And for every giant that fell, he assigned an angel. So pretty much, if you're following the Most High's laws and doing what you're supposed to, and one of these entities decides they want to fuck with you, you're supposed to call on the angel that is over that demon. This is why you see when they're called themselves Jesusing their demon out of somebody, which it does not work. Or when they doing their what do they call that, exorcisms, all that bullshit they be kicking you with, right? And if you really paid attention to, because they're not going to show you a real exorcism. They'll never show you that, because they don't call on no damn Jesus. I'm going to tell you that right now. They don't. Because if you think about it, right, if this man's name is so powerful and so scary, right, why is it when these things are in these people's house and they say, I tell you to blah, blah, blah in the name of you know who, this motherfucker just throw everything around the kitchen? It's like a mockery to me. It sounds like it's laughing at him, like, you dumb motherfucker. You really think that's going to make me? And they'll tell you, oh, we're upsetting the spirit. No, I think the spirit is letting you know, I don't give a fuck about you, Jesus, nigga. Say it again. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't show fear. Fear is motherfuckers say somebody's name and they like, oh, I'm out of here. I ain't gonna fuck that. Nope. He might listen to him. You know what I'm saying? That makes more sense to me. It's like one time, right? I got attacked by a what do they call those things? It sits on your chest in your sleep. It holds you down. They call it sleep paralysis, but it's an entity that does that, right? And I'll never forget, it had me like holding the side of my face, and I was trying to turn it. I was fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like, so. And I pretty much told her, I ain't scared of you, whatever, so forth and so on. And I said the creator's name, and that motherfucker let me go so fast. I mean, I couldn't even get the damn last syllable out. That motherfucker let me go so fast it ain't make no damn sense. That's what that sounds like. That's what that sounds like. When somebody name gives fear to something. Not you say their name and they destroy your fucking kitchen. That don't even make sense to me. And then it's still there. Oh, it's just angry. It's gonna fight you now. Why would it want to fight somebody that it's scared of that you can call on? That don't make sense. The smart thing to be is like, let me get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So this is their story. This is what they believe. This is literally what they believe, and this is what they teaching y'all. And they have everything ass backwards. Everything is ass backwards. Ain't no all this shit they telling you that you got the Most High got an adversary and this and that and this person and that person is going to do this and that. Y'all need to be in my personal business. You know what I'm saying? It's all bullcrap. It is. Because you can't find it in the Torah. You can only find it in that goddamn bullshit of a book that people constantly believe in. And if you think about it, right? Think about it, right? If the whole beginning of everything speaks about the Creator, His creation, and the people that He chose, right? to be to be for him, right? Why would any other book talk about some dude? Some dude, like, you really need to sit back and just think about what they're telling you. And then you cannot find this man's name nowhere in the Torah. And then where they try to tell you that it's talking about him, they literally gotta sit there and tell you, oh, we had to translate this to this. But any other story, you can clearly make common sense of it. Like if I sell you, they ask you what's my only begotten son name, and I said my son name is Israel. Isn't that my son name? That's my son then, right? So how did my son go from Israel to somebody else? You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. You're being lied to. And they got you worshiping idols. And this is a no-no for the Creator. Because now, you think about it. If the Creator's calling you his children, right? And you're worshiping somebody else or claiming another man, your dad ain't gonna fuck with you, yo. Your dad ain't gonna fuck with you. And all men know what I'm talking about. If you're a father and you take care of your son, and your son give all the shit that you've done for him as a father credit to another man, you're not gonna fuck with your son. You're gonna cut him off until he get his mind right. Hello. Now you know why we in the state we in. Because we keep giving credence to a goddamn dead man. He is not the only begotten son of the Creator. He is not the Creator. He isn't. That's not even the Most High's name. And if you want to know his name, just think about this. He breathed. And if you got any common sense, take a fucking breath. Take a breath. But I'm out of here, y'all. I'm going to turn this thing and stop it. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. Leave me some comments.